that it? And apparently the Chinese song isn't even in here, so I don't know, I don't remember what we did before, honestly.
Maybe you didn't.
No, that's impossible. I probably had a different supplementary song sheet.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
If I had my, oh, I do have my computer. I could check. No, seriously, I wouldn't have done it. Impossible is probably a little too strong a word, but you know, impossible, inconceivable.
Oh, is it this? This is someone else. It's not Tammy. Is it?
I think so,
Tammy Trudette Sherman.
but that's who's singing, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident Debbie Freeman wrote it. Oh, wait, for heaven's sake, my children.
We're on the YouTube.
So
Yeah.
here we are, live to the world.
Live to the world.
Really? Do we? Okay. Great.
It does sound like Debbie.
I'm pretty confident.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, see, it's right there.
Yeah. I think they in this YouTube it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah,
It's the
because
person that's singing
it's the
it.
person that's singing it. It's not the person that wrote it. And honestly.
I haven't necessarily thought about it that much. I have thought maybe education related, but I think not. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm just kind of, how old is the kid? 4 to 8.
Really different. Oh, no, that's the other one?
And what I'm trying out with my 3-year-old, I like the math. Yeah. What happens? Yeah. It's hard, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't know what I'll do it though, because I do think if and when I go back to school, I'm probably gonna do like English or writing or something. So I am college, which I do love, but it's not something that I think I want to do like as a career. You know. Exactly. Yeah. Good to see you.
I want to welcome everyone and invite you to find your seats and get settled. I know some people are still coming in, but we're going to get started so that we're not here all night. Not that there's anything wrong with being here all night, but I know that people have scheduled rides home and things like that. So I want to begin by saying this Passover is not really like other Passovers. And so some of you may be feeling that very strongly, and others maybe aren't feeling that very strongly at all, and that's okay too. But for some people, the war between Israel and Hamas is very much top of mind. For some people, thinking about the hostages who are still in Gaza is very much in their mind. And so one of the ways that I am acknowledging that this evening is, if you look over here to my left, there's a yellow chair, and it's an empty chair. It has pictures of a few of the hostages on it, and it's to remind us of the people who are not at home for the Passover Seder. It's also, I don't know where in your brain this lives, if it lives in your brain at all. But I also know that within the Jewish community, there are some wide-ranging opinions about this situation. And sometimes that can be very difficult. And so what I want to remind us of is that we all share Jewish values, and our Jewish values include caring about people and caring about life. And for some of us, it leads us in different directions about who we care about more. And this can become very contentious. Here at our Seder, I would like to encourage us to be kind and be compassionate. And I wanted to bring a story about a time when perhaps relationships within the Jewish community were even more difficult than they might be now. And that is during the Civil War. So I have a story. I actually I actually found this story in a cookbook. How many people have Joan Nathan's Jewish Cooking in America? You have my copy. All right, well, this is one of my favorite cookbooks, but it has wonderful stories in it about the food. So I just wanted to share this story with you. A Union soldier, Meyer Levy of Philadelphia, wrote his family that he was strolling through the streets of a Virginia town and noticed a little boy sitting on the steps of a house eating matzah. When he asked the boy for a piece, the child fled indoors, shouting at the top of his lungs, "Mother, there's a damn Yankee Jew outside." The boy's mother came out immediately and invited the soldier to the Seder. So, if you think it's hard for us to get along now, just know that there have been times when it's been very hard and people were still able to invite the enemy to their Seders. And so, I just wanted to share that. The way this is going to work is you all have a Haggadah and you have a song sheet. We're maybe going to do some of the songs on the song sheet. We're going to see how the Spirit moves us. Don't worry, we're not going to read the whole book. We're going to skip on through it, and I am not doing this all by myself. I led an entire Seder last night. So we're going to be passing a microphone around and sharing the reading so that we're all leading the Seder together. So we are going to turn to page 8 where we have the candle blessing. So I'm going to light the candles, and Phyllis, oh, well, that's the other thing. We need to really, really thank Phyllis and Helene, who made all of this possible this evening, and they are the ones who found food that you could afford. So the cost is far less than it was last year. Last year I subsidized it with my discretionary fund, which is why you didn't pay $90 last year, but this year it actually cost was less, and that is because of the work of Phyllis and Helene. So thank you so much for both of you. All right, so I'm gonna light the candles and hand the mic to Phyllis.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hagger shel Yom Tov. Blessed are you, O God, ruler of the world, who sanctifies us with the mitzvot and calls upon us to kindle the light of the festival day.
Thank you. We come now to the blessing on the children. So if you are here with someone you are related to as a parent, you can do a blessing over them. Your baby. Excellent. So this is page 10. So for people who have sons, Yesimcha Elohim Ke'Ephraim v'Menashe. And for people who have daughters, Yesimech Elohim Ke'Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. And for all the children we say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and watch over you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God's face be lifted up to you and grant you peace. Page 12. The Cup of Miriam. This is a relatively new ritual It's on page 12. So I think, well, so we say, Zot kos Miriam, Zot kos mayim chayim, zecher litziat Mitzrayim. This is the cup of Miriam. I put water in this cup. The cup of living waters, a reminder of the exodus from Egypt.
And?
Oh, are we doing Miriam's song?
Yeah.
Sorry, Miriam's song. Miriam's song is on page 150.
And Miriam was a weaver of newly variety. The tapestry she wove was what we sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched my spirit and she dances for the light. 2, 3, here we go. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to one who we exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. When Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her, just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We had just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. Here we go. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And we turn back to page 15 for the order of the Seder, so that then we will know everything that's going to happen. All right, amazing. All right, and if you've got hands free, I invite you to do this little fun rhythm with me. It goes like this: 1, 2, clap. 1, 2, clap, clap. 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 Kadesh, Orchatz, Karpas, Yachatz, Magi, Rachsa, Motzi, Matzah, Maror, Koreh, Shulchan, Oreh, Zafun, Pareh, Halel, Yitzhak.
So anyone who is rhythm challenged, I hope you felt fine about it watching me as I struggled. Was it hard? Page 16, page 16, Kadesh. So it's time to pour yourself your first cup of wine or grape juice. As you may know, there are 4 cups of fruit of the vine for the Seder.
Sorry.
Who else needs it?
Parker, grape juice?
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
You want to go get grape juice? Coming.
How old are you?
19.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You challenging Parker on his maturity here?
No, I was just wondering because I know some people not 21 who also have wine, and I know some people who are not 21 who prefer grape juice. Yeah.
Just say I like this book, but it's brand new.
Yes, it's got a lot of flip and flop.
Should children
In
drink?
Exodus 6, God promises freedom to the people of Israel, and the text employs 4 different verbs to describe the process of liberation. The Hodseti, I will bring you out. The Yitzalti, I will deliver you. The Ga'alti, I will redeem you. The Lakafti, I will take you to be my people. Because each of the 4 cups marks a distinct stage of our liberation from slavery, we recall these biblical promises when we drink each of the 4 cups of wine. Our people suffered under the yoke of slavery, and God promised our deliverance. We raise the first cup and repeat God's promise to our ancestors and to us. Behodseti etchem mitachat siblot Mitzrayim. I will bring you out from the burdens of the Egyptians. This is the promise of awareness. When we are numb to the pain of bondage, we do not know that we are enslaved. When we acknowledge and address that pain, we become God's partners in liberation.
Oh, look, just as we think about the yoke of our oppression, here come the eggs.
That's a pretty bad joke.
The Kiddush is on page 18.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei bri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, Hiromin banu Lashon, V'kidshanu b'mitzvotav, V'titem lanu Adonai Eloheinu, V'ahavat moadim v'simcha, Chagim uzmanim l'sason, Et yom Chag hamatzot hazeh, Zman cherutenu mikra kodesh, Zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Ki banu bacharta, V'yotanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, U'moadei kodshecha, V'simcha u'b'sason, Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Yisrael, V'hazmanim. L'chaim.
Drink leaning to the left.
Oh, sorry. I was leaning all kinds of directions.
I know.
Page 24. Page 24. We have come to the karpas. This is the parsley. I guess we're going to take the parsley off of the Seder plate. I hope there's enough for everybody to have a little bit. What? Or maybe a pickle. Why not? Cucumbers might be our spring greens, right? Okay, so this is the season when life begins. In the month of Nisan, the earth softens. Seeds of hope push toward the light. Our telling begins with remembering that tears often clear the path to growth. Take a bit of the spring herb, dip it in salt water, which is in a bowl on your table. And we'll say the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri ha'adamah. Eat that parsley.
Shoji, would you pick up the mic?
I don't know if it's pretty heavy.
You okay if I give it to you from my hand?
Yes.
Give people a
I don't
moment.
know how to turn it on. Hello? Is it on?
And now that we've said the blessing, we're allowed to snack. So on your tables, there's pickles, there's coleslaw, there's eggs, and you are allowed to eat it. And this is like, what? Okay, that I don't know about. People are saying they have no plates to eat snacks, Celine. There are no plates for them to eat their snacks off of. Plates.
Is that parsley accounted for? Can I?
Okay.
You may have that parsley.
Thank you so much. You don't have to put the whole plate. You can just nab the green. I'll grab it from you. Thanks. Where's that salt? Thank you.
Can you hand me a piece?
All right, Shoshi.
Yes.
On page 25, would you read the text in the blue box?
Yes.
Excuse me just a second. I'm gonna put the grape juice by the desserts, if anybody wants the grape juice. By the coffee. By the coffee, who wanted the grape juice?
Okay. Yeah, I need grape. I'll get over there. I don't believe is this microphone working?
I don't know, is it turned
I
on?
turned it on.
Hold it right up to your lips.
Hello? Okay, great. On page 25?
Yes, in the blue box.
Come with me, my love, come away. For the long wet months are past. The rains have fed the earth and left it bright with blossoms. Birds wing in the low sky, dove and songbird singing in the open air above. Earth nourishing tree and vine, green fig and tender grape, green and tender fragrance. Come with me, my love, come away.
We turn to page 26 for Yachas. So now we come to the matzah. We're not going to eat it yet, but here it is. There's 3 matzot on your table. And we're going to take the middle matzah. I'm going to take, thank you. Okay. So I'm going to break this middle matzah in 2, and the larger part is going to become the afikomen, which at some point is going to disappear, and then the younger folk in the room, we don't have any young children this year, it looks like, but the younger folk in the room can search for it. Meanwhile, Catalina, would you read the text for Yachat, starting with even before?
Sure. Even before we speak about the matzah, we break it. Why do we begin our Seder by breaking this matzah? Our rabbis teach Israel was redeemed from Egypt because of these merits. Our ancestors did not change their names. Our ancestors did not change their language. They defied the anonymity of servitude and kept safe the language of home. We set aside the broken portion of matzah to remember that what seems lost may be recovered, what seems broken may be repaired. Redemption begins with remembering.
No, somewhere else.
Thank you. Okay. Page 27. Halachma Anya. Do you want to pass the mic? Would you like to read, Sheldon, in the English?
This is the bread of affliction that our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. This is the bread of poverty that our ancestors ate in the land of Mitzrayim. Bread baked in haste is the only food for many today. Others perish for lack of any bread at all. Let all who are hungry come and eat. Let all who are in need come and celebrate Pesach. When we share our bounty, we honor our past. When we share our joy, we ease the spirit's hunger.
Thank you. Helene would like to make an announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for a service. So can you please control your talking while we were conducting the Seder? Thank you.
Okay, the Seder police have spoken. Yeah, so yeah, even if you would like to have conversations with the people around you, there might also be people around you who want to be able to participate in the Seder. So yes, thank you, Helene, for not making me be the bad guy. Page 30, we've come to the 4 questions. Who is the youngest?
Look at that. Perfect.
Wow, perfect timing.
All right.
You got this.
Do you need help?
We can help.
Okay, it's on page 30.
You got this. Right? How is this next page 31? It's okay, do it here.
Are you going to do it in English?
In English.
Okay, then we'll all do it in Hebrew after. So go ahead and do it in English.
How is this night different from all other nights? On all other nights we eat chametza and matzah. Why on this night only matzah? On all other nights we eat all vegetables. Why on this night maror? On all other nights we don't even dip once. Why on this night do we dip twice? On all other nights we eat either sitting upright or reclining. Why on this night do we all recline?
Thank you. And page 30 has the Hebrew. So everybody who knows it, let's all do it. We're all children at heart.
Yes, we are.
This seems like a good time to say that a really important part of the Seder is asking questions. And so we ask the 4 questions. Those are the questions we're used to. But if you have other questions, you should ask them as well. And you can bring up those questions whenever you feel like it. Just like get my attention. Okay, so we are up to page 32. Apparently we're not going to answer those questions right now. You're going to have to figure out the answers on your own. I think it becomes clear as we go through the Seder. Why do we eat matzah? And why do we do this? And why do we do that? Yes, Paul. What is it?
You asked the 4 questions. Why doesn't the service answer those questions?
Do you think it doesn't? Do you think it doesn't answer the questions? I mean, I just said it doesn't answer the questions, but actually I think it does answer the questions. Why is it saying different from all other nights? Because we spend an hour before dinner, telling the story of the Exodus from Egypt.
No, but it's that in the Haggadah.
30 minutes after.
Well, but we're going to come to the matzah, and we're going to say the blessings on the matzah, and we're going to eat it, and we read why we eat matzah for this time. And, no?
I don't remember it answering all four questions.
No, maybe it doesn't answer the questions. Do you feel like you know the answer to the question?
I don't think I forgot as an answer about landing, right?
Well, somehow the answers get answered because you know the answers.
Like 4 corollaries that are statements.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Not really 4 questions.
You have fulfilled the obligation. You have fulfilled the obligation of Passover, of answering a question.
Interesting. I find, Rabbi, that we Jews focus a lot more on questions than we do on answers.
And then there's that.
Page 32. Would you like to read?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to read responsively with Luke on page 32. So you just read and we're going to join you on the indented lines, okay?
We were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt.
From that narrow place, God brought us out.
We were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt.
With mighty hand and outstretched arm, God brought us out.
But if God had not brought our ancestors out from that narrow place, if God had not brought our mothers and fathers out of Egypt,
then we and our children and our children's children would still be enslaved to Pharaoh in Egypt.
So even if we were all wise beyond our years, even if we were all educated in the ways of Torah,
we would still need to tell this story of the Exodus from Egypt, for the telling is praise. Thank you. On page 33, at the bottom of the page, Patricia, would you like to read it from the bottom blue box?
Sure. Okay. Our ancestors were shepherd people Our ancestors were shepherd people of slaves, lovers of open spaces, free to wander as far as the eye can see. When they went down to Egypt, they descended onto the narrow place, one by one. Their freedoms were taken away. Their world contracted. Their dreams became nightmares. We who have so many freedoms, are we enslaved? What are the narrow places we construct? For ourselves, when do we relinquish our freedom that we thought we were afraid or ashamed? What binds our spirit and fetters our soul? What is the traveling toward the fulfillment of our dreams?
Thank you. Please pass the mic to Samuel. And we turn to page 36. Samuel, would you be willing to read, please?
Hello?
Hello.
Why is the Seder at night? Night is when the journey to freedom begins. At night we look at the world we thought we knew and discover with our night vision that the world can be different. Why is the Seder at night? Sounds are clearer at night. If we listen with our full attention, we can hear waves lapping at the shore, even if we live far from the sea. If we place our ear upon the ground, we can hear the earth breathe. If we stand in the desert at night, we can hear the sand sing. Why is the Seder at night? At night, we are most keenly aware of our own fragility. Each of us enters the night alone. Sometimes in the forest of night, we become aware of other souls that, like us, seek a path. Why is the Seder at night? On this night together, we choose light over darkness. On this night, we exchange silence for song. On this night, we discover travel.
Thank you very much. On page 37, we come to the 4 children. Arba'a banim. So we first greet one another with blessing, and then we have a song about the 4 children, which appears on your song sheet, which is separate from your book, to the tune of Clementine. So first, Baruch hamakom baruch hu, shehi hashechina brucha hi, Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael, brucha hi. Blessed is the one who dwells in every place. Blessed is Shekhinah, the one who is blessed. Blessed is our people's source of Torah. Blessed is God. We can turn the page to page 39, but we're also going to turn to our song sheet.
Said the father to his children, at the Seder you will dine. You will eat your fill the pots, and you will drink 4 cups of wine. Now his father had no daughters, but his sons they numbered 4. One was wise and one was wicked, and one was simple and a bore. And the 4th was sweet and winsome. He was young and he was small. All his brothers asked the questions he could scarcely speak at all. Said the wise one to his father, would you please explain the laws of the customs of the Seder? Could you please explain the cause? And the father proudly answered, as our fathers ate and sleep, ate the Paschal and their midnight, and from slavery they were free. So we follow their example, and their midnight must complete. All the Seder, and we should not have the 12 remain to eat. And it's you, son so wicked, what does all this mean to you? And the father's voice is bitter as his grief and anger grew. If you don't consider as a son of Israel, then for you this has no meaning. You could be a slave as well. And the sinful son said simply, what is this? And quietly, the good father told his offspring, we were free from slavery. But the youngest son was silent, for he could not ask at all. His bright eyes were bright with wonder as his father told him all. My good children, heed the lesson and remember evermore. When the father told his children, told his sons that numbered 4.
So on page 39, let's all read together. Tradition speaks of 4 voices, Chacham, Rasha, Tam, and She'enu Yodea Lishol, the wise, the wicked, the simple, and the one who does not know how to ask. Each year we sit in a different place and ask our questions anew. Each year we consider responses that lead to deeper questions. Okay, so I feel like we need a wise child and a wicked child and a simple child. So who is the wise child? You don't have to be like physically a child. And
what do you have to do?
You have to read what the wise child says. Okay, Linda Horowitz is the wise child. You can stay there, I'll come to you. Okay, and then Cheryl, you're the next reader, so you can answer the wise child. Who is feeling wicked today? Oh, Faith is feeling wicked. Okay, great. And then Rebecca will answer the wicked child, unless you want to be a different child. What about the simple child? Who's going to be the simple child? Who's feeling simple? Okay, Eric. Excellent. Okay, and then We'll be up to Samantha by then. Okay, so the Chacham asks, where are we? We are at the top of page 40.
What are the rulings, the laws, and the traditions which God has commanded us?
Cheryl.
We answer, with a strong hand, God took us out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You are the bright child, sure and clear and eager. Your questions are your strength. Keep asking and going deeper, turning each question so it yields a new response.
Wicked child.
What is this service to you?
Rebecca.
To you and not to him, to you and not to her. Jews who say to you rather than to us, and limit themselves to the community, and thus reject an essential tenet of our tradition. You should give such people a sharp answer and set their teeth on edge, saying, because of what God did for me when I came out of Egypt. For me and not for them, if they had been there, they would not have been redeemed. You are the angry child. What is the source of your anger? Is it your place at the table, too narrow for your spirit? Open the door and look out beyond this room, beyond this night. Can you see a freedom that is beyond our sight?
Okay, the simple child.
What is this?
Well done. Go ahead, Samantha.
You instruct the swine on the precepts of Passover, including one must not continue the feast after sharing the afikomen. Your question is simple, but you have much more to ask, much more to tell. Perhaps we need to listen for the question within your question, for the question behind your question.
Excellent. Pass the mic. And for the she'eno yodea lish'ol, the one who does not know to ask, Hadian? You can't read it? Okay. Next. Who wants to read? Okay, pass to the next person who's willing. Karen steps up to the plate.
Okay, so where am I up to here?
We're on 41. I read the Hebrew part for you. The she'eno yodea lish'ol, the one who does not know how to ask.
Okay, for the Shideno Yodei Alishol, the one who does not know how to ask, you must open the door. The Torah teaches, you shall teach your children on that day, because of what the Holy One did for me when I went out of Egypt. You were the child whose silence speaks for many who do not know how to begin. We are enriched by your presence tonight. The story will become clear, it will become yours.
Thank you. All right, we're going to the next table. Aline, do you want to be the first one? Okay, turn the page. Page 42 at the top.
Tonight, who was thoughtful, angry, naive, unable to act? Who was self-satisfied, alienated, innocent, silent? Who was learned, rebellious, puzzled, silent? And how will we challenge and change by the responses and our questions tonight? According to each question, we respond. We begin with degradation and end with dignity. We begin with shame and conclude with praise.
Okay, please pass the mic. Page 43, the promise, Vahisha Amda. At the beginning.
At the beginning, our ancestors worshipped the gods of the land beyond the Euphrates River. Then God drew Abraham and Sarah close and brought them to Canaan to God's service. Tonight we tell the story of an ancient relationship between God and our people. Tonight we tell the story of a link that is renewed in every generation. Give it first?
You can do that or pass it as you choose.
Baruch Shomer, the Yisrael, Baruch, keep. Blessed is the one who keeps the promise to the people of Israel, servitude to others, even if it lasts 400 years, will come to an end. God is the ultimate judge. Israel will survive.
Beautiful. Page 44. Let's all read together in the English. This is God's promise to our ancestors and to us. Although one individual stands against us to destroy us, another stands with us in difficult times. In every generation, when some are blinded by hate, others build bridges of understanding. The Holy One, our source of help, sustains us. Page 45, the blue box at the top of the page. Alan, would you read that?
We Jews have never achieved freedom by ourselves alone. We always had friends, allies, decent people who championed our cause. We broke out of the ghetto walls only because many others enlightened forces in Europe amplified and fought to realize our demands for equal status. We would not have achieved the high state we presently enjoy here in this land were it not for the Bill of Rights, which was neither crafted nor realized by Jews. And the state of Israel would not have been established had not a majority of the world's peoples recognized the moral righteousness of our cause. Our history drives home this lesson over and again. We need friends in order to prevail.
Thank you. That's a quote from Alexander Schindler, who is the rabbi who was the president of the Reform movement in around 1990. I know he was in 1990, but also around that year. Turn to page 46, please. And at the top of the page, there's Hebrew, but right under the Hebrew, there's English. Sandy Dan, would you read for us that English? My ancestors wandering Arameans went down. Page 46.
My ancestors wandering Arameans went down to Egypt and sojourned there were few in number. They became a great nation, mighty and many. The Egyptians oppressed us and afflicted us and placed hard servitude upon us. We cried out to God of our ancestors, and the Holy One heard our voice. God saw our affliction, our strain, and our oppression, and God took us out of Egypt with a strong hand and an outstretched arm, with awe-inspiring acts, and with signs of portents.
Thank you. Could you pass the mic to Jody? Jody, on page 47, would you read in the blue box?
It is striking that the first time the Israelites are referred to as people is by Pharaoh, the enemy of our people. What is the legacy of our having come of age as a people while suffering oppression in a foreign land? The commandment that appears 36 times, more often than any other in the Torah, is, "You shall not wrong a stranger or oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." This legacy waits to be claimed and lived by each generation of Jews.
Thank you. Would you pass the mic and we turn to page 50. Next reader, please.
Rabbis teach us that our ancestors were redeemed from Egypt because of the righteous women of that generation. Now the king of Egypt said to the midwives of the Hebrews, the name of the first one was Shiphrah, the name of the second was Puah. He said, when you help the Hebrew women give birth, look at the birth stool. If it is a son, put him to death. But if it is a daughter, she may live. But the midwives held God in awe, and they did not do as the king of Egypt had told them, and they let the male children live. Shiphrah and Puah refused to honor Pharaoh as the arbiter of life and death, preservers of life. They did not distinguish between the daughters and sons.
Okay, before Mona takes over, Elaine has a question.
Last night we were talking about it was God's decision to kill the firstborn. It came from God to kill the firstborn. Is that true?
Okay, we didn't get there yet, but sure. So the question is, at Elaine's Seder last night, the question came up about whether God was the one who gave the command to kill the firstborn. We're jumping to the 10th plague for just a moment. I think you were reminded of it by.
Actually, I noticed that in the Seder last night too. It said, God put the thought in Pharaoh's head to kill the firstborn. And then like later on it goes, God hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Okay, I
That's why
feel like
the
we're,
plagues came.
so is that what you were talking about, Elaine?
Sort of, but not that Pharaoh did it, that God was the one that was behind it, totally.
Which parts?
Killing the first son.
Killing the firstborn, not killing all the Hebrew babies?
No.
Okay, tell me your name again?
Charles, Mona's son.
I know you're Mona's son, but all I knew was Mona's son, and I didn't want to call you that. So Charles brought a different idea, which apparently there's a midrash that says that God put the idea in Pharaoh's head to chuck all of the Hebrew baby boys into the Nile. That is a fairly horrifying idea, if God is supposed to care about the Hebrews, right? So I didn't know that. That's new to me, that midrash. I don't know that one. So I'm going to say I'm not into it.
Yeah, there was not.
Which we're allowed to say about midrash. Midrash, being effectively fan fiction on the Torah, you don't have to accept it if you don't like it. So I'm going to just put that one aside. But there's no getting around the fact that God brought on the 10 plagues, including the 10th one, which was the death of the firstborn, a very, very difficult and harsh plague. So what do we do with the idea that God was behind it? I mean, meanwhile, God was behind all the other plagues too.
Yeah, but that's pretty harsh.
Well, okay, but the other plagues, you think nobody died?
Yeah.
So does anybody have thoughts about this? Are we going to be God's lawyer and say,
What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to free our people, right?
What's it going to take to free our people? And it does say God hardened Pharaoh's heart, but it doesn't say that until about midway through the plagues. For the first few plagues, Pharaoh hardens his own heart. And so one of the ways the rabbis explain that is by saying, listen, you harden your own heart enough times, your heart is hard, and you don't have to harden it anymore. And so God hardening Pharaoh's heart was another way of saying that Pharaoh's heart by that time was just hard. And there was not going to be any mercy from Pharaoh because, this is psychology, right? That if you behave in a particular way, eventually that behavior becomes who you are. Do you think that that's true?
Yeah.
You can
still change. You still can change. I believe you can change.
You might be able to change. Yes, Luke?
I think that God made all the 10 plagues on Pharaoh, but I think that with the hardened heart of Pharaoh, I don't interpret it like that God told Pharaoh to kill the firstborn. I don't think that God did that. I think that God made Pharaoh sad, and Pharaoh didn't really have to kill the firstborn, but Pharaoh did. But that was Pharaoh's choice.
So we're getting a couple of things mixed up a little bit here. Pharaoh didn't kill the firstborn. God sent the angel of death to kill the firstborn.
No, I'm talking about with Moses in the basket.
Right, sorry.
But all the baby boys.
Yeah, Moses in the basket.
Okay, so you're putting aside that midrash as well. That we
no,
put aside.
I just interpret it differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Gail wanted to say something.
Yes, I wanted to say that the custom that we follow at the Seder of dipping our finger in the wine and taking a drop of the wine and removing it from the cup symbolizes our compassion. We are not happy. We're not happy for the suffering of others. Our hearts can be softened. And we do this to express compassion for the suffering of others. We're not taking joy in the suffering that the plagues have caused.
It's a beautiful concept. It is a beautiful concept. I think it sidesteps the question a little bit of what do we think about God doing this?
I think God just wanted a nice round number. God uses 10 a lot, and like if Pharaoh cut off in the middle, that would have not been 10 anymore.
Okay.
I'm
Did you ever
joking.
hear Hanalina?
I'm
That was
joking.
my daughter Hanalina. She said God wanted a nice round number.
Uses 10 a
the
lot.
number 10 comes up a lot, and so, there needed to be 10 plagues. I think that sidesteps the question a little bit too. It's okay. You're allowed to sidestep the question. Jonathan.
God sees.
I mean, the way, just if you returning to your level of psychology, the way we condition human behavior is by penalties. So you can't drive 1,000 miles an hour on the highway because you'll get a speeding ticket. And so one way to think about the 10 plagues, I think, is a step. Each time perhaps being a little bit more severe in trying to condition Pharaoh's behavior. In that sense, the 10th, as you said, is to be the worst.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. All right, so we want to get back to our Haggadah, although this is a very, very interesting conversation for sure. And I guess what I want to say is that God talks about convincing people of God's power with signs and wonders. And that's part of what is happening with the plagues. There is a way of dealing with this, which also, this might be me sidestepping the question, is that we're in the realm of myth here. Like, we're not talking about history. We're not talking about necessarily actual things that actually happened, but we're talking about what we can learn about relationships and about our relationship with God and what God wants and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say that God didn't only have to convince Pharaoh here. God had to convince the Israelites. Because the Israelites have been slaves for 400 years, and where has God been that whole time? So now God finally shows up. But God needs to convince them that God is super duper powerful, and if they follow this God can take care of them. And so I think that's also part of what's going on here, is that God needs to make the biggest splash possible, and does it even work? It works for a minute, they follow, but then as soon as they get to the wilderness, it's all, oh my goodness, we had such good onions and garlic back in Egypt, and you know what, it wasn't so bad, and maybe we should go back there. Over and over and over again. So, yes, Patricia?
I noticed if we always get what we call like those little bugs that come into your home, is that also part of the plague, or is just natural order of nature?
Okay, now we've turned the page. Patricia says, those little bugs that get into your house every spring, is that part of the plagues? No, it's not part of the plagues. But yeah, we do talk about plagues all the time, right? And what did we just had? We just had a solar eclipse. Darkness.
For like a minute.
And there's going to be cicadas.
Cicadas?
There are going to be so many cicadas. They're like locusts, but not really. All right. So I don't know if that was a satisfying answer for Elaine or for anybody else who has this question. I don't know if there is a satisfying answer. But part of what we do is we talk about the questions, and we yearn for the answers even if we don't find them. Mona, would you read at the top of page 51, please? And thank you, Elaine.
A man in the house of Levi went into to wife of daughter Levi. The woman conceived and bore a son. When she saw that he was beautiful, she hid him for 3 months. When she could hide him no longer, she got a potter's basket for him and sealed it with room and with pitch. She placed the child in it and put it in the reeds by the shore of the Nile. The infant's mother, her heart heavy, knelt at the bank. Looking up, she pushed the fragile basket into the gentle waters. His sister stationed herself far off to know what would be done to him. The baby sister crouched in the reeds, waiting, watching. Now Pharaoh's daughter went down to bathe at the Nile. While her maidens walked along the Nile, she spied the basket among the reeds and sent her slave girl to fetch it. When she opened it, she saw that it was a child, a boy crying. She pitied him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." She named him Moses. He who was pulled out explaining, "I pulled him out of the water."
Okay, let's go to the next person. Elaine?
The day was hot, the water cool, the child's cry wrapped around Pharaoh's daughter's heart, and she reached across boundaries of race and privilege to hold him close. Her outstretched arm changed the course of history. His sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call a Hebrew woman who will nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter answered, "Go." So the girl went and called the infant's mother. Nourished with the milk of justice and schooled in the ways of Torah, Moses led our people out of slavery. Moses, whose name means "he who was pulled," became one who pulls. Moses stood before Pharaoh, accompanied by his brother Aaron, and demanded our people's freedom. But God hardened Pharaoh's heart, and Pharaoh's spirit turned to stone. Pharaoh became blind to the misery of his servants, and deaf to their cries.
Thank you, Elaine. We turn to page 53, and we've come to the section that Gail already explained for us, where we recite the 10 plagues and we take a drop of our wine or grape juice out of our cup for each of the plagues. And as Gail explained, it is to show that our joy is diminished in this holiday by the suffering of others. So people often do this with their little finger. You can do it onto your plate or onto your napkin, whatever you decide. Blood, dam, frogs, spardea, lice, kinim, wild beasts, arov, cattle disease, dever, boil, shechin, hail, barad, locusts, arbet, darkness, choshech, death of the firstborn, makat bechorot. And we turn to page, did my mic stop working? Yes. My mic stopped working.
Mike, the mic.
All right, we turn. We turn to page 58. Ben needs his mic. For Dayenu. Hotzianu, Hotzianu, Mimitzrayim, Hotzianu, Mimitzrayim, Dayenu. Hey! Dayenu, 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 Rabban Gamliel used to say, anyone who does not expound upon 3 symbols has not fulfilled the obligation of observing the Passover Seder, and these are the 3, Pesach, Matzah, and Maror. So everybody point to the bone that's on the plate. And next reader, please. It's either Barbara or Vicky. Our ancestors ate. Page 63.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
You have to talk into the mic. Just put it up to your mouth.
Working?
Yeah.
Our ancestors ate the Pesach, the Passover sacrifice, in the days of the temple. Why? This Pesach reminds us that the Holy One Pesach passed over the houses of our ancestors in Egypt. Our Torah teaches this is the Passover sacrifice, for God passed over the houses of the Israelites in Egypt and destroyed Egypt, but spared our houses. And the people found love in our ancestors sacrificed the lamb and smeared its blood on their doorposts so that their homes and their lives might be spared.
Thank you. Please pass the mic. And if anybody wants to raise, I'll do it, because I'm the one who has the broken middle matzah. Raising the broken middle matzah. Cecilia, would you continue?
Tonight, we eat matzah. Why? Our Torah teaches, and they baked unleavened cakes of the dough that they had taken out of Egypt, since they had been driven out of Egypt and could not delay, nor had they prepared any provisions for themselves. Exodus 12:39. God was revealed to our ancestors, and they tasted redemption even before their dough had risen. Matzah is the bread of wandering, the bridge between our sojourn in the land of enslavement and the land of freedom.
All right, somebody raise the maror, the horseradish, from the plate. And Diane, please continue.
Tonight we eat why? Our Torah teaches they made like glitter for them, and with harsh labor, with mortar and bricks, and with all sorts of tasks in the field that they made them perform. The Egyptians embittered our ancestors' lives in Egypt. Cruelty, violence, and oppression plague every human society, darken our world, embitter our lives, and challenge us to raise our voices and dedicate justice.
Thank you. We turn to page 66, and Gail, would you read the English in every generation?
In every generation, each of us must see ourselves as if we ourselves came out of Egypt, as it is written. And you shall tell your child on that day, saying, this is what God did for me when I came out of Egypt. The Holy One who is blessed did not redeem only our ancestors, but God delivered us as well. As it is said, God redeemed us from that place in order to bring us out and to give us the land that God had promised to our ancestors.
Thank you. So next is Hallel, hymns of praise, and we're going to do a non-traditional hymn. It's on your song sheet. It's Hallelujah, adapted from Leonard Cohen.
I heard there was a bush on fire, that Moses heard God's one desire to free my people, Pharaoh. What's it to ya? He went back there with staff in hand and showed the Pharaoh God's land. And with great he sang a hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
second cup of wine or grape juice. Bob, would you read for us, starting with I will deliver you?
I will deliver you from servitude. This is the promise of deliverance from servitude. Created in God's image, we need never be subject to another's cruel will. As God promises us deliverance, so must we ensure the freedom of every human being.
I invite you to raise your glass. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, our God, ruler of the world, creator of the fruit of the vine. L'chaim. We come to the tasting of the matzah. So, everyone can take a piece of matzah. What? Just take a piece. Just break off. Everybody, just break off a piece of matzah. It doesn't have to be from the house. It's from anywhere. Yeah. All right, let's do the blessing. There are two blessings for eating the matzah. One of them is the motzi, which is the regular blessing that we do for bread. But the other one is because there's a special commandment to eat the matzah. There's not a ton of matzah on your tables, and you are going to need some more. So, don't go crazy.
Don't go breaking my matzah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivonu al achilat matzah. Eat some matzah.
Crunchy goodness.
Okay, now we dip in the maror. So you take some matzah and you dip it in. I guess there's only that tiny cup of maror. So we share.
On the corner.
Maybe take a spoon and put some on a plate.
Yeah, you don't have to technically dip. You can take a little with a spoon or something.
Or you can drip instead of tip.
Yeah. Common problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we need more. That's right.
We need more roar. The groaning of the children.
That's what this is.
Sweet
Pass it along.
nectar to my ears.
Mike, was this yours?
Yes, it was. What is the greatest pleasure in life? To hear the groaning of your offspring.
Okay, we turn to page 76. 76. So, can we have the next reader? Isaac, do you want to read? No?
No, I think I'm ready. We have plenty of
Or Vicky?
Oh, there's another bowl.
Right there.
No, that's charoset. It's an apple and nut and spice mixture. Yeah. It represents mortar.
I don't want. But it doesn't taste.
Okay, everybody listen to Vicky. Vicky, put the mic closer to your mouth.
We remember the days when the temple stood and Hillel's age combined the combine the pig plasma and more, feeding them together to fulfill the biblical teaching. With not smoke and bitter herbs, they shall eat it.
Thank you. So what we do is we make a Hillel sandwich with matzah and bitter herb, that's the horseradish, and haroset. Haroset is that sort of brownish stuff in bowls on your table. It is an apple, nut, and spice mixture that is intended to be symbolic of the mortar that the Israelites had to use to stick the bricks together. So we eat that together with horseradish and matzah. And after that, the te'avon, it's time for the festive meal. So you can put your books aside.
I got Rosa.
And we're gonna continue. And we will continue after we eat.
Would you like me to mute the Zoom or? They can listen to us eat.
The sounds of the Seder.
Munch, munch, munch.
You would like to use your song sheet.
Who else would like an egg?
Whatever.
Anyone like an egg?
Yes.
There you go.
Have an egg.
Have an egg.
Get eggs.
Okay, we'll do so.
All right. Have some more. There's not really any more water, right? Yeah, there's really not. Alright, so I'm just gonna have some sort of setting. I had another setting.
Alright, Rabbi, this is muted.
Okay.
There's a switch.
What? It's a switch?
There's a little switch, it slides. So that's on, that's out.
Okay.
Bailey's congregation, her previous congregation in Alexandria, they used to have a haroset competition. Yeah. A haroset bar, so everyone brings their own homemade haroset, and there's a whole bar of all different versions of different places. It's awesome. It's really it's pretty amazing. And then they like put the recipes, so like if you want to make your
yes.
You want to replicate? How's Maddie?
Sometimes in this story, God is very concerned.
You just had surgery?
Sometimes not. And I think maybe part of it is.
How did you get
that ritualist?
I heard it earlier.
Much later. I mean, people had time to like just the teaching thing, and they did it. I thought one of the journey
first everything.
She had another step put in. These ideas of, a drop of wine to show compassion. But at the original time, I don't think that was part of the equation. It was more like,
Why don't you come home?
She
came home yesterday. Came home already.
I think that's a great answer.
Just let her know we're thinking about her.
I will. Thank you. You got a short breath. You got a short breath. How long are y'all home for?
I'm only home for a few days. I have class on Thursday, so I have to be back for that.
Wow.
I'm home all the time. So.
Yes.
I technically had class today, I just didn't go.
Okay.
But they knew you weren't coming.
Wow,
they knew I
had
wasn't
class today.
Yeah. My
New Jersey.
school doesn't care about Jewish holidays.
Where do you go to school? Wild.
I go to Fairleigh Dickinson University in New Jersey.
Oh, it's New Jersey.
Yeah.
You doing there?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I had to, last year, I think it was Yom Kippur fell during Tech Week for a show I was working on.
Yom Kippur fell on homecoming.
Yom Kippur, no.
Rosh Hashanah fell on homecoming.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, or something. I'm talking about last year, like 2022.
But your freshman year, you know what blew my mind today? Apparently, here in New York, the on-site parking is on Passover is like not in effect on today. Like today, like if they don't do like they don't ticket people. Yeah, you can call 311.
No, that's true. That's true for every holiday.
Yeah, every holiday. But it's like I think it's amazing, and I think it's awesome. And I actually didn't know that until I already moved my car, and then proceeded to get a ticket because I put it in a spot where there was it was like a truck loading zone. And so like I only learned it after the fact, but now I know.
So is that like more strict parking rules or
It's
relaxed?
actually less. So
No, they suspend alternate side for holidays.
Where's the alternate side?
Alternate side is you have to move your car for street cleaning once, twice a week.
Oh, so half the street is empty.
For like 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they suspend that type of parking,
Then
then.
you can leave your car there, they don't do the street cleaning that day. And so on holidays, they suspend it so people don't have to move their cars.
But I think mainly the thing is that like Jewish holidays are in New York City treated as like
holidays.
All other holidays that a lot of people celebrate because it's just there's a lot of Jewish people here.
That's true.
And you know, I don't. When I miss things because of holidays at school, I'm not penalized because it's religious observance. It's just
It's not encoded in like the school being like we're not going to do this on this holiday like they might do for Christmas or Easter.
You still miss the class. You gotta like
I mean, in
sometimes
fairness,
it's like,
we also had class on Veterans Day, so maybe they just don't care about most holidays.
Except for the Christian.
They care a lot about the Christian ones.
well, a lot of these colleges were founded as Christian colleges.
Yeah, I don't think mine was.
You should think so either.
But
Yeah.
I think there's fewer Christian holidays than there are Jewish holidays.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, major ones.
I don't know. I was thinking about that. That's an interesting question.
I don't know how many colleges were started as Jewish colleges. Like I don't feel like that's very
Major Christian holidays are Christmas and Easter.
Yeah, exactly. It's Christmas and Easter, and then there's two.
I mean, there's minor holidays, especially if you're Catholic.
Oh, that is the yellowest.
But
yeah, it's incredibly yellow.
you know, the other, I mean, Halloween, some people think it's Christian. I consider it largely.
I'm a little
I think most Christians consider it secular. Thanksgiving is definitely secular.
Thanksgiving is American.
Yeah, that matzo ball definitely is jaundice. It's like,
And then there's Saints Day.
My
same color
friend,
the whole way through.
one of my best friend at school, her baby cousin has liver disease and like has had liver disease since she was born. It was very terrible, and she like just got a liver transplant, and she's hopefully getting better. But the pictures of her, it is so hard not to laugh because she's so yellow.
It's upsetting, but also it's a yellow baby.
If you saw a picture of JC, you'd understand. She's so yellow.
I guess it took on the color of the bra.
It's not bad.
That's what we were saying.
It looks like an orange.
It's pretty yellow.
We're
Mom is commenting on how yellow it is. It looks like a cornbread muffin.
I was going to say it does look like it's made out of corn.
I agree. It's okay. I've had worse.
I've had worse.
It's mainly like matzo ball. This is matzo ball soup, but this is not proper matzo ball soup.
The consistency of the matzo ball is right.
Yeah. Like it's fine.
It's fine.
I think if it wasn't this color, I would be like completely fine with it and just be like, this is a fine matzo ball soup. Since it is this color, I am unnerved.
I think the sky was this color when there was like smoke coming over from Canada.
Like
This
when
was the
everything
color.
went sepia, but like a little bit more dangerous.
Smoke soup.
And I feel like it'd also be like a curry. Like I feel like it could have that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If it was spicy, I would understand more. But since it just tastes like okay,
I long ago adjusted my expectations for this meal.
it just I don't know. I don't hate it. I even kind of think it's okay. I'm just so I was so surprised when it came out of it. I was like that. I know what this is supposed to be. I feel like I'm looking at.
I also fear for my teeth, you know, because everything that has this color, I'm like definitely, like my teeth are already getting a little bit, you know, yellow from drinking tea and
When you make like turmeric milk or anything with turmeric,
It probably is, yeah. I mean,
and it
it's like-
turns that color.
It's kind of like a like dense food. You know, it's like a.
I could definitely go for some more.
It's like a concentrated food. Like
There is no-
you know what I mean? Like
More,
Yeah. Stop.
but
It was funny the first time.
Yeah, you know, in Lord of the Rings, like they were trying. It's so strange that they were just trying to get to a place where there were bitter herbs. It's so weird.
That's crazy. Yeah, I would tell my partner really likes Lord of the Rings, and I would tell him that joke, but he would not get it because he does not know anything about Passover. It's just pretty good.
Two levels deep.
Not Jewish.
I'd have to. I'd have to. There would be a lot of explaining required.
That's like the probably the way
part of the joke.
That's probably
No one
the
would be
way
laughing.
he felt talking to you about Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
which is
trying
why
to
he
make a
made you
joke
watch
to-
all the movies.
He didn't make me. I wanted to.
Well, you have to make him come to Passover, or he should come to Passover.
I'd like to. He's in Arizona. And in school.
And
none of that is our fault.
that's not our fault.
Make him find some Jews.
Yeah, make him find Jewish people in Arizona.
Get himself invited.
Send him to Seder at Richard and Valerie's house. Except they wouldn't be having it there.
Where are they?
Actually, they would be having it there. They're in Phoenix.
There you go. You could go to the Seder there.
That would be an insane first Seder experience.
Well, so that's not ideal.
No, it wouldn't be ideal.
What's the deal with the family?
This is one of my father's old friends who lives in Phoenix as well, who is a crazy, he's a nut. He's a delightful nut. And he was, in my whole childhood, he was like you ever, like, there's that one friend of your parents who just, like, you see him coming, you're like, ah.
Yeah? Oh yeah.
That guy.
I get that. I get their names show up on my phone every once in a while, and I'm like, do I answer the phone? I know that they have something they want to say to me, but I don't know if I want to. Yeah.
So over the last year, I found myself in Woodstock, Illinois over the summer, and that was where that's one of the places they live. So my dad said you should call Richard and Val. So I did, and they were so delighted to see me. We had a lovely time. And they said, next time, if you're ever in Arizona, you should call us. I was like, well, when am I going to be in Arizona? Well,
Lo and behold, I started dating someone who lives in
yeah. So I went out and had dinner with them and Richard's son, and really nice business partner. It was great.
Yeah. I was just in Colorado this week, actually.
Yeah.
I was
thinking the soup
was running a retreat in Boulder. It was a meditation and singing retreat. It's very cool. My friend actually happens to own a retreat center in Boulder.
What?
Which is amazing. And so he was like, would you like to run a retreat? It will be free for you and for your participants. Come and we want to show off the retreat and get people excited about the center, get people excited about it. It was this gorgeous space. We had this whole building that we it was shared sleeping accommodations, but it was 2 people in a room, so 2 beds, which is not so bad. We had 12 people there.
The ones I worked with, we made Peter Pan.
And it was beautiful. I mean, we were up in the mountains, so it was actually, it snowed while we were there. It was gorgeous.
My sister lives in the mountains outside of Boulder.
Oh, yeah?
She lives in Nederland, which is one of the communities up the hill.
I wonder how far it is from where we were.
Not very. Where was the place that you were?
It was. I don't know what community it was.
What's the name of the retreat center?
It's called the Unified Meditation Institute. Where are you from?
I'm from the Bronx.
Don't search it on Google Maps because it actually is the wrong address on Google Maps.
And your family?
I found that one out the hard way. So I can't pick us up.
Well, my family is from Romania and Germany.
It's this. It's here. Oh no, wait. Wrong. That's not it.
Did they all live in the Bronx and Brooklyn? Yeah, my father and mother lived in the Bronx when they met. They were both going to NYU.
Is not sorry.
So is it
am sorry.
Just you and your parents? I guess you must have cousins and nieces and nephews. Are they all in New York? I've been all over. I've been in Israel.
Cass is in Ireland.
In Baltimore.
Here and there.
Yeah, one of my very good friends who I love is across an ocean.
Here's the address, 179 Jets. And
Admittedly, none of these people are my romantic partner, but I also partly to romantic, so
Yeah.
so if I ever see,
You can't understand my
if
pain.
I ever see unseen pain, it's not that I just care, it's because I am. It's not
So,
that I
yeah,
don't care
so-
about you and how you feel, it's that I'm
This
just kind of
is,
like, I don't know.
from there,
You live in New York, you live in
I don't know,
Seattle.
I miss my friends too, but I'm not in love with any of
Oh,
them.
no,
it's a half-hour drive.
Probably for the best.
Oh yeah, look at that, crazy.
But
So it's further north,
Right.
And Texas.
but that's cool.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Well, in all the years that my sister and her husband had lived in Boulder, I had never visited them there. So I'm very rarely in Colorado nowadays. And I happened to be there, and I
Put in yesterday.
added a day to the trip.
This is
So
number
I
one.
could go visit and stay with them.
That's
And
amazing.
it was lovely.
Are these like
And I
all
couldn't see
planned,
worth a darn
or-
because of the altitude.
Oh yeah, because you spent one day.
I was in Denver for 2 days,
Yeah.
and then when I went from
It's
50,
insane.
1,500 feet to
It's
7,500
insane. You
feet.
can't breathe.
Yeah.
You're like up in the mountains, and you're like. You have to like sip from the air is what I've been
That's
told.
right.
You have to.
Did you have any Seder last
Yeah.
night?
It was
And you have to
intense.
drink a ton of water. That first day, I was like, it
You were
took
dehydrated.
one night. Once I woke up the next morning,
Yeah.
then I was in better shape.
Okay,
Yeah.
The-
Make sure not to drink anything.
That first night in the hills was just like, and my appetite was shot. Like we went
That's a
to
lot of
really good
stuff.
Himalayan food.
I-
It's a town of like
when I started
1,500
college,
people,
I thought
and they
I
have
would
a
like
great
philosophy,
Himalayan
and then
restaurant
I
because
took
of
a
course they do
philosophy
because they're in the
class.
mountains. But
And then I was like,
Welcome
you know what?
to the Himalayas.
welcome to the Himalayas.
Partner, where like it?
I really do.
Where are you at school?
I'm going to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn College?
Yes.
That's awesome. Voice crack. Do you like it there?
Yes, I do.
I remember always hearing in college that philosophy, you could do so little with it. It was like,
Yeah, it's good to have
Do
a
you think
friend.
they would like to know about these retreats?
They might. I mean,
Not that they need to retreat from where
You'll be
they
able to
are.
get a
well,
job.
I mean,
And you'll know how to think.
my sister
business your major or philosophy?
has done yoga and
The major is philosophy business, so it is.
Double major? Are they Jewish?
Yes.
she's Jewish. Todd is not. Her husband is not. But he's about to retire, so maybe he'd like to take up a hobby.
Yes. Jobs are
He's going to be able to analyze. Are you
hobby.
Judaism as a hobby for fun and
I
profit.
kind of like what would Judaism the hobby be?
critical
It's
thinking is
like
good.
Well, sometimes it starts as a hobby and then you become a religion.
touche.
I was in college. I remember thinking about like,
That's
what
what
I'm going
people
to
say
take.
every time I show off one of my hobbies. They're like, "You're so good at baking. You should turn it into a career."
What did you
I'm like, "Do I have to?
Can I just enjoy baking, please?
Can I just bake?"
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah, you had the choice, and you said, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I could have gone to culinary school.
That's
I
true.
went to acting school. I had an unstable career, so I decided to go for an even more unstable
Different,
career.
but equally unpredictable. Yeah,
I make great.
great choices. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Acting. That's not
I think
necessarily
once Todd retires, a lot is probably going to stop
Except
looking to
actors are
that she's.
I'm studying
How-
acting and creative writing, so.
I mean, I'll mention it to her.
Yeah.
Retreat center nearby is this one. I mean, I imagine people living in the Greater Boulder area have at least 3 retreat centers that they know of and are in a relationship with.
There's a lot of actors that get jobs.
Right, that are probably closer. There are probably 3 that are closer today that aren't 30 minutes away.
Yes, we know several
my
working
other
actors.
very awesome thing about
I'm very
this
lucky
retreat
to
center in
already
particular,
have
there's a
a few
recording studio on
connections,
site.
especially in like the New
So
York theater acting
the next time I
area.
go, I'm gonna record my next album.
I have
The
some very
altitude
close
tracks.
ties with the theater
The
company,
altitude, right.
an off-Broadway
The altitude
company that
sessions.
I've worked with a couple times.
That's nice. I like that.
I'm in a fairly good
Yeah, I don't know
spot.
what they
Did
call
they
the
ask you?
studio
Did they
itself.
tell you they'll
but
give you like a position?
I can show you
No, that's
pictures
not
of
really
the
how it
recording studio
works.
if you're
But
interested.
like you know,
I don't have pictures
once
of many
I
things from the
graduated,
event,
I'm probably going to see if
but
I can
I
help
do
them
have
out on
pictures
some
from
shows or keep an eye out for their auditions. And because I already have a connection with them and like know
Oh, that
the
looks like a lot of fun.
That's elite.
Yeah.
And they probably when they made that like communication with you, they probably considered you. They probably want you to come and try out.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that's why they
That's super fun.
try out. They recruited you.
Yeah.
Lovely time of year to be there too, even though it's
So my mom wanted to be an actor.
It was a little chilly, but it was.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy.
Where did you get that crop Henley?
I've had this for a while. Yeah, I just don't wear it super often, but it's very comfy and I like it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a major.
It's my minor. So I'm a major in acting and a minor in creative writing.
Okay. Yeah, creative writing is useful.
Yeah, and it's been. I'm actually considering picking up another minor because I don't have enough classes required for my major and minor to be a full-time student until I graduate. Like I'm gonna run out of classes.
Junior or senior?
I'm not in school.
I'm running out of
I was
classes
in school
that
for
I
a
can
little
take
bit, and
to
then
be
I
a
was like,
full-time
no thanks, and now
So you have
I'm working.
In my program, I
that
have
is
a certain
remote
amount of
with the
classes I
Department of
need to take.
Education.
And I need to be taking at least 12 credits
me and a
of
group of
my
other people
major
work
minor in order to
directors
be a
and principals
full-time
around the city
student.
to help them
And I'm running out
get
of
candidates that
classes.
they can interview.
Oh, so you're down to the last two you have to pick.
Yeah, so I'm considering picking up another minor so that I can stay on.
And then my other job is like part-time, 3 afternoons a week, and sometimes on the weekends, working at an after-school program with 4 to 8 year olds.
It must be kind of like
And it's really nice to have a reason to go outside and also want to be with kids, so that's good. And
It's not really a factor at my
the rest of the time.
It's great. I think it's good to have both. Very good.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's very easy to get stir crazy inside, and even though we may have gotten used to like being inside during the pandemic, like I have most of my classes inside. I need good excuses
To go out.
To go
If I
out.
don't have an excuse, I won't. So I need the excuse, and also I get paid, which is great. I love getting paid.
Which is also great. Yeah.
I love doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think at some point I'm going to go back to school, probably also for creative writing or English or literature. What?
I'm not trying to hype up FDU, but if
Shoshi wants me to go to school.
No, I think you should consider a place that has a program like what FDU has with Quest, where you can take a 4+1 and get a teaching degree along with your regular degree.
Interesting. That would be interesting because everybody's like, oh,
Yeah, because I was so tired. I realized
like,
that was my
don't you want to teach?
I have to like space it out with all the energy.
If you're going to be going
Did you have a Seder last night?
for creative writing, and that's what you
No, I
do for a
just.
few years, teaching is probably a good
I'm somewhat ashamed. I haven't been through Passover closure.
get a job as a
Oh,
teacher.
it's okay. You know what? You're still getting into it.
Yeah, that's the real best fact. I'm getting into it.
Yeah, it's something you can do.
There's more Passover
I think
stuff that I can
college
keep.
has
Right. It's true. What else is happening for you?
Oh, listen to this. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, Katie used to be in the 4+1.
Your
Thank you.
She says we're breaking up. So I'm like, we start having a conversation. And then eventually she calls me, she's like,
might as well.
She's like, no, actually, can I come over?
That's a 180.
I know, yeah.
It's not bad.
That's a 180. Wow.
It's like the third or fourth time she did that.
I'm not gonna have it.
All right. Sounds like might be a little tough situation.
It's like, it's humorous.
Hey, if you both can laugh about it,
Yeah, we
that's
laugh.
an okay thing. I hear about couples that break up and get back together a lot. That's like a thing that It's a thing that I've seen happen, you know, especially early in relationships, like sort of figuring it out and, you know.
So it tastes like nothing.
If you could laugh about
Does that make it better?
Yeah, I think it's like because she told me that she enjoys to argue sometimes, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
It's not gonna
Like,
kill you
then
to try
she
it,
kinda
but I don't like it.
jokes on me. It's like I kind of like it's a joke, like we're joking about it, kind of like make fun of each other.
Can you pass me a napkin and a piece of
That's right. I'm gonna actually pass on the gefilte fish. I've had a ton of gefilte fish today.
Yeah, it's
I
not
mean
done
it.
yet, but
Can somebody pass me a piece of matzah, please? And
Well, add it to the colors of the Seder plate. We have the yellow matzo ball. Yeah, I really did have a lot of gefilte today.
Actually,
So
Harper, could you pass me a little pizza as well?
Today, yeah, we got all this gefilte last night from pomegranate, and it's really good. I like it. Yeah, we love it. So we had it for lunch today because we had a bunch left over. Because there were some people that they declined it, and I was a little sad about that because I wish they, gave it a chance. But I understand. Here I am declining it tonight.
If you really like it just as well, you're probably missing.
Well, that's part of it. I feel like I've set a bar for myself. Yeah, it's like, would you like some gefilte fish with your horseradish?
It is not the sweet kind.
Yep, that's what I imagine. That's what I assumed.
I don't like the sweet kind.
Really?
I hate the sweet kind.
Oh, interesting. I like the sweet kind.
Oh. So what I will say for this is it's not as sweet.
Yeah. So you don't like the sweet kind? You think it's weird, or what do you think?
I think it doesn't taste good. Like, I don't like that it's sweet. I don't want my fish to be sweet.
Alright. I hear you.
Yeah. I mean, gefilte fish is not ever my favorite food, so I don't serve it myself.
I feel like there's I think on some level there's a suffering component. It's definitely built in. When I was a kid, I was like, every year I took one bite. My parents always said, just take one bite.
That's true. I fully enjoy horseradish way more than I'm supposed to.
The fish of affliction.
Yeah, honestly, the fish of affliction.
Well, you know what I don't miss from Egypt? The gefilte fish.
They did have
fish we got for free.
Wasn't there a fish in
Yeah, they
Egypt? That was the
complained.
thing. They were like, we like the gefilte fish.
We like the fish we got for free in Egypt.
I like the herring and
I don't miss the gefilte fish. You like the gefilte fish?
This gefilte fish isn't that good, but I had other good ones that I like more.
Yes, I've had some pretty good gefilte fish. It's not always terrible.
my school had gefilte fish on the salad bar in the dining hall.
They don't give you off for Passover, but they'll give you gefilte fish in the salad bar. They're trying to accommodate.
They know you'll be at the salad bar because you can't eat any of the other things.
But they'll also replace corn with matzah.
Yeah, they had
When
matzah
corn you can still
labeled
have. Why don't they replace the bread with matzah?
You know what I saw at a grocery store? There was, it was like, celebrate Passover. And it was a whole thing of halot. It was like a whole,
That's all right.
No.
Yeah, last year, I don't know if they have it this year, but last year they had also very, very bad matzo ball soup in my dining hall. And I ate it one time, and I was like, this is really bad.
I appreciate it when people try to learn.
I mean, it's not even a learning thing. It's just like, it's just not good.
Yeah. I had a friend come for the Seder last night, her first Seder she'd ever been to. And she'd also lived in Brooklyn for a lot of her life and had never had matzo ball soup.
Oh,
and
what?
I had two friends.
How is it possible?
Yeah, two friends of mine came to the Seder. One was Jewish, the other was not.
Maybe, but I feel like matzo
Even
ball
some of the other religions, they still eat the matzah ball.
Yeah,
Yeah, like in the
she'd
church
never
religion,
had it
they
before,
serve
and my other friend who came, who is Jewish, was like, "You've never had matzo ball soup before?" And she was like, "No," and he was like, "This is a travesty, and it's good that you're here."
Did they have a good time with the Seder?
Yeah, they actually both had a fantastic time, and it was really great, especially for my friend who'd never been to a Seder before. She was like, "This was amazing and incredible, and I had so much fun."
Baruch Hashem, you're exposing your
I had friends who had never been to a Seder. It was their first Seder last night, and it was so nice to have them appreciate and experience and enjoy it. And I could tell they were really getting into it. So it helps when it's a Barbie Seder. So.
Yeah, when you, yeah.
And it's like something that you can relate to from your own like context.
Yeah.
Yes, please, thank you.
Yeah. This is also my friend who is like, I was secular growing up. We just celebrated, Christmas as a secular thing. And I'm like, I understand that. But also you know nothing, like you're like, it's just a secular thing, but you know so much about Christianity. Which goes to show that Christianity is seen as secular when it's fully not.
Well, this is kind of a funny thing. I mean, I know a lot of Christians who know more about certain parts of the Torah than I do.
I mean, I don't know. Some Christians might sometimes say they're secular because there's religious people that might be viewed as Christians, like Catholics. Like there's Catholics that aren't Christians.
What do you mean?
Like they don't.
I'm not gonna eat it.
They don't have any belief about Jesus, but they believe in the saints. They always worship the saints. The Catholics that are not Christian worship the saints, and they always, whenever like I talk to them, they're always like, "No, I'm not Christian. I'm Catholic."
That's weird, but fascinating. I have not heard of that before.
And if I ask the priest, they'll say, if I ask the priest if they're Christian, they'll say, yeah, they're Christian. But there's all these people, they all say the same thing, that they're Catholics.
How do you know these people?
People I knew all through my life, like maybe like school or like I talk to people like in public,
So do y'all have any summer plans you're thinking about?
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well,
I
haven't told my parents this yet, but no, it's not a big deal. An author who I really like is doing a signing in Brooklyn on July 23rd, and I will hopefully not be in Germany at that point because I would really like to go. Why are you shaking your head? Great, good. I will be in Germany. I'm confused.
Not unless you stay there independently.
Yeah.
You will not be in Germany.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Unless you stay there
Technically two questions, but they're related. One, who is the author? Two, is it Sarah J. Maas?
No, it's Rainbow Rowell.
Okay.
We have a family wedding party in Germany, in Bremen on the 13th of July.
Since
We all four will be there, but then we're sort of scattering.
So you have family that stayed in Germany after the war?
No, this is Heidi's family.
Oh, okay.
Rabbi Heidi's family.
Yeah.
You
Not my
leadership over the summer?
I really understand it.
Leadership. We can say that you're not in school right now.
No, I'm working. Well, two in a problem. Currently, I have a virtual job with the Department of Education, which is helping hiring directors and principals around the city. But going to Germany or part of a borough. Find candidates that they could interview and really hire.
Because as I mentioned, I'm in a
also I did it last summer into like end of October.
We're trying to figure out how we can finish this summer.
Because that was when like the school year was starting up and
we go there for a couple of days. Like you want to be there for
like teachers.
Yeah, it's difficult because like there's financial situation with his family. He lives with his family.
Or there's signing contracts for the next school year.
There's not really space for me.
So doing that, and that's virtual every day, but on certain days I do my other job, which is in person, and so on those days I do half days of the virtual job.
We've been together
and then go in the afternoon to work at an actual program in Greenville.
We got together in
with 4 to 8 year olds.
February of 2023.
So, and also the after school program occasionally does like birthdays on the weekends. So
I joined a Discord server.
So like I'll go in on the weekends occasionally, like set up or like work for that. And then on like
through that, we were
vacations,
both
they
playing
do
that
their
server
daycare.
and then
So
joined like
I also
another
do that like
smaller
this
server
week.
Okay.
through that
I am
server,
not
and
on
that's
my
how
normal
we started
schedule
talking.
because
It's the whole
That's
thing,
so
and I got
neat.
very lucky
Today
that he's,
is
you know, a
Tuesday,
nice
so I do have work
boy
tomorrow,
and
and I have
something
work on
else.
Friday.
Oh my gosh, the
And I also
catfishing
have a little
is
bit of the
is
other
unbelievable.
job in there as well.
It is
But it's
sometimes
kind
hard
of
to tell
a break a little
because
bit.
he has a large
Interesting,
beard
certainly.
and is very tall
Oh,
and
God,
looks like he could be in his 30s.
I'm assuming you probably also like you probably did like a FaceTime before you met in
Yes,
person,
yes.
right? Like
Well,
those kinds
what
of things.
happened
And
was-
even then, you could still mess with things. But
Well, here's what happened. Let me find a picture of us and then I'll show you a picture of us together.
Can I ask what the fans of just for us? Okay,
So this is us together. I do have a black eye because this was not long after I was in a car accident.
Oh gosh.
I was in a car accident and then a few days later I went to Arizona to see my
Oh
boyfriend.
goodness.
But so we were
those
together
two things in the car may
yeah,
just happen.
yeah, we were together for a few months before, or like a couple months before I really told my parents. Hannah knew before my parents knew. Of course I did. But when I told them, I was saying, oh, I'd really like to meet him at some point, blah, blah, blah. And then my mom suggested, well, do you want to go to Phoenix? And my mom suggested, well, do you want to go to Phoenix and meet him for your spring break?
Yes, please.
And I was like, yeah. But what she did not really consider when she said that was that she was not going to be there when I went.
that was true when I suggested 45 minutes per.
I think it was already true.
You think it was
My
already
recollection is you could go see him over spring break. Of course, I'll be out of the country.
Yeah. So she was in Israel, and so then it became like, well, you're not going by yourself to meet this strange man you met online.
Right.
So my lovely father came to Phoenix with me.
Also funny
that is
because
love and support right there.
Shochi's boyfriend's name is Michael.
My boyfriend's name is Michael.
So this is either world's best dad, world's worst dad.
He's lovely.
He is lovely. But we didn't know that.
Did you have a call with him beforehand, or did you like? Did you meet him?
I had texted with him beforehand. I don't think I'd spoken to him.
Yes, and so the first time we met in person, his mom was there and my dad was there. And so it was sort of, you know, meet the parents and meet the partner at the same time.
He also came with us, he stayed with us for a month over the summer.
He came in over this past summer, he was here for most of July.
Those first 3 or 4 days in Phoenix were definitely interesting and fraught. And we're quite fortunate, Shoshi and Michael are quite fortunate that Michael's mom and I got along really well.
That's like I feel like that's
we were
a.
simpatico, so.
Did you stay in like a hotel?
Yeah, we stayed in a hotel. Not far away.
I mean, like, even if you did have space in his house to stay with him, you would not have,
I think that is
not for the first
very important for all parties. Very
but then he was here with us for the summer show. She was there in December.
Yes, I went and I spent Christmas with him.
I kind of liked it.
Because I don't celebrate Christmas, but he celebrates Christmas.
So, good opportunity. Now this year,
Yeah, Hanukkah was earlier.
well, this year I think Hanukkah falls around Christmas and New Year's. I think.
I didn't take it. Looking back now, maybe
I don't know actually where the nights fall exactly. If it's like the first night of Hanukkah is Christmas or not. But
I'm curious.
I know it's gonna go. I know Hanukkah's gonna go all the way through the New Year, which is kind of cool. That feels rare to me.
Hanukkah.
Oh, you're already doing it.
Already doing it. Holidays.
Rare. Through the New Year.
December 25th to January 2nd.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, that's.
So yeah, Christmas to
So January 2nd.
Like
Hanukkah, baby.
Fully including New Year's. That's why.
And my favorite holiday of all, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, is December 20th.
I forgot what year.
So right before.
Wow, that's wild.
I'm so excited.
Hanukkah's going from the 25th to the 2nd. That's great.
That's crazy, right? Through the New Year.
That's so wild.
This can be festive.
Yes, so
Talk
I'm
about-
going to be working that Friday. Because that's going to be the Hanukkah service.
All right then.
Yeah, and people are
What
like,
is the
oh
Friday?
my God,
Is it the?
It's
what
the
are we going to
27th.
do? What are we going to do when, what's the Friday?
The 27th.
The 27th. Wednesday is the 25th. Thursday the 26th. Friday is the 27th.
Yeah, so I'll have to work and go, look, what are we gonna do about that? And I'm like, we're gonna have liquor service during the week.
God forbid.
That's what we're gonna do.
Oh, we
How are we gonna deal with that? And I'm like, by having this. But Christmas. And I'm like, we're doing it.
But what about Christmas?
Like, I'm glad it doesn't. Yeah, I mean,
People
I
decide
think
not
it would
to
be
come, they
I
decide
think it
not
would
to
be
come.
harder if it was actually on. Like the first night it was on Friday, and it was Christmas also, or whatever.
Yeah, sure, but you know.
We've been some.
And if people opt not to be there, then they opt not to be there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We have to figure out our lives. I'm gonna be in summer classes.
You're gonna do summer classes?
Full steam ahead.
Excellent.
I mean, I really want to be done. I want to be done in 4 years.
It's either here or here. I don't recommend that.
Oh wait, no. Personal experience.
What?
No.
What?
I was talking about
I said I don't recommend taking 9 years to finish 7
Oh,
days.
that's fair.
And I was saying I'm going to be in classes over the summer. I'm doing like a full semester of classes.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to like get finished in 4 years. That's my goal. So we're gonna see. It's cancer awareness school. So it's actually like to study to be a cancer. Yeah. And not to cancer like wine or.
I know what cancer is. Yeah, the one that sings in the service.
Yes. And it's actually the same school where our rabbi went to study as well.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of cool.
Awesome. And then you'll be a permanent cancer for your whole life.
Yeah.
God willing, I mean, I will have the ability to be, and it's going to be the potential.
Yes.
And God willing, I'll have the ability to serve.
You'll be invested. You'll be heavily invested.
No, not invested. Ordained.
Ordained then. It was always.
HR was always ordination.
Okay.
HEC was
Investiture. Yeah, they use two different terms.
Yeah, it used to be HEC, invested cantors, and ordained rabbis. I don't think it is still the case.
I feel like that would be, I think it'd be better for them to make it the same.
I know, but HEC is historically
In any case, you'll be ordained. You'll have smincha. You'll be ready to go.
In due time. So that's what I'm doing in the summer. We're also going. We found this place. So I'm in this like Brooklyn, like Boca neighborhood Facebook group, and somebody posted there. They were like, "Hey, we have a house upstate that we want to do vacation rentals there, and we like for people that live in the neighborhood, we want to like give a discount. So we're going to be staying a week up in Kingston, New York.
Very nice.
So that'll be kind of nice near Woodstock, and
I still miss that house in West Stockbridge. That was something else.
y'all had
No, it was. I did. She did. When years and years ago, when the kids were little, I kind of was 7 or 8, and she was 4. Something like that. There was we went to the Brooklyn Heights Synagogue fundraising auction for the preschool.
I'm sure I'll be going to that this year.
You probably will, if they're still doing it. And so one of the families had just bought and renovated this house in the Berkshires. And they're like, hey, it's like 99% done, 90% done. We'd like to, we are going to auction off 2 weeks at this house.
Nice. You won the auction.
And Heidi, Rabbi won it.
The first time that they did a live auction, it had always just been a blind auction before. Blind auction is always
Silent
a silent auction.
Oh, so this is like a...
So this is
actual,
the
like,
first
auctioneer.
time they did like a live auction.
Live bidding.
Whoa, an
And so
auctioneer?
I was bidding against this other person.
Oh, gosh.
and it got up
That's
to,
how it
I think,
happens.
$1,200. And so I paid $1,200, and that was where I was talking, and I was very sure the other person was gonna bid again, but then they didn't.
Wow.
And Mike was like, "You did what now?"
I was right there.
$1,200 to just like throw out there, and I was like, "It was an accident." Like I thought that
But 2 weeks, I mean.
I said it's an accident, like you had some sort of spasm in your arm kept flying
Yes.
But 2 weeks at like a nice.
It was.
Oh my God,
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
And like in West Stockbridge of all places, it's like. I'm sure you could have gone to Tanglewood. I'm sure you.
We went to the lake. Yeah, we did.
Yes, but it also had like it was a big house
was
with
really
lakes on a lake.
The way to the lake was like covered in goose droppings and it is
Oh my
gross.
God! Seriously, it was like one of the
They all
best
have
places
different
we've ever
memories.
stayed.
It was really nice. But most of what I remember is hiding from the wasps. It also snowed while we were there.
No, it did.
What?
I swear to God, it snowed.
It did not snow.
It
while
did
we
not
were
snow
there.
while we were there.
They had a bathtub, in a bathroom with like
Most of what I remember is watching Backyardigans with the cousins and
to like
Shoshi.
look in and see you in the bathtub.
Yeah, weren't they?
Bailey and I found this place.
And of course, we
in
got there, and
Pennsylvania.
their electronics were not hooked up, so Mike did them the service of hooking up all their TVs and things.
So
Did we go there with the cousins?
So we
Yes,
went,
the cousins
and it was
came.
not-
We all went to the beach
But
together.
they like make all these awesome
mostly
lavender
just
stuff,
remember
and Bailey
playing-
loves
yeah, watching the backyard again.
We got
That's all I
there.
remember.
We got in this cute little place.
And I think like there was
And they like
did
have
we
a
swim
little
out to like a
lavender candle
deck
for
that
us,
was
and we
out
got
on the water? Because I
we do
remember
this like
going in the
mountain
lake.
dock.
Yeah,
Not
dock.
a deck.
And
It's
we were
called a
like,
dock
this is
when
really
it's in the
smart.
water.
I know.
And we get there,
Sorry,
we,
no,
like,
you know.
starting to make food, whatever. And then all of a sudden we hear like a scratch at the door. And we're like, what's going on? And we open up the little curtain where the door is, and there are 4 little baby corgis. Like little baked potatoes, like you know, little corgis.
Corgi puppies.
Corgi puppies. Scratching on the door. We go outside, and these corgi puppies are all over us. Apparently, they had
They had a litter of corgis.
They had a litter of corgis, and they were like, well, you know, if you want one, we were like, you know, we're like, we cannot have a dog right now.
At this exact
This is
juncture.
not the right moment. We were not planning for this, but it was so cute.
That is adorable.
Oh my gosh, they had the corgi puppies and the
Resort with corgi
It was
puppies.
a long time ago.
It was so cute.
I think the next year went for like $6,000.
Oh, at least. And I think they split it up into 1 week each, and each week went closer to 6 grand. Yeah.
So
was
getting it for
ridiculous. We got it for like 10% of
We
the
got
thing.
it for around
Yeah.
That's. I'm gonna excuse myself for a minute. I have fish.
Okay, good to know. But not gefilte.
Not gefilte.
Conventional fish. Yeah, that was the last sort of house rental that we did when the kids were. The rabbi has fish. So I'm glad she told us, and then now we know. Mazel tov. I think it was empty.
Sounds empty.
Yeah.
But whatever was on it.
Hope everything's all right.
I do have a very important question.
Yes.
What is that?
This is the meeting owl. So this is what's providing the camera and the microphone for the Zoom, the people that are attending the Seder on the Zoom.
Oh, so they can hear our conversation.
Oh no, we're not muted.
Oh.
The volume went off. We can't hear anything anymore. Hello?
We just turned off the sound carrier set because we're just cruising. We'll turn it back on when the train starts.
Thank you. I'm enjoying the conversation.
We were able to at least see you before. Could you put the picture back up so we'll know you didn't forget about us?
I'm sorry, Charlotte, what did you say?
Put the
I
picture
said,
back
could you
up.
at least put
So that
your
they know.
The
yourself back
picture
on
is on,
screen
it's
so I
just
know
I've
you didn't
muted the
forget us?
microphone.
Oh, I see where you are. Okay, I
Yeah.
see where you are. Sherry is up on screen, so I didn't realize that the temp was still up on screen as well.
Yes, I see it.
If you
Hag
mute
Pesach
yourself, Sherry,
Shemayim.
I think it'll go back to the main picture for the temple.
Yes, I was just saying Happy Pesach.
Oh, happy Passover to everybody. Well, Sherry muted herself, but we're still seeing Sherry as the main screen and not the catering room.
All right, Charlotte, I'll unmute us again so you can see us.
Thank you so much. Lovely, thank you.
Risotto.
Nice. Back to you. I mean,
Okay,
never had
so
it.
what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come around and distribute tiny, tiny, tiny pieces of the afikomen to everybody. Because this is the last thing that we eat. As you're finishing up your entrees, please feel free to help yourselves to dessert. But we've got a Seder to finish, so. And so I'm gonna, bring this around and you can eat it when you're done with your dessert, or you can just eat it and call dinner finished and then start a new meal with your dessert.
Nice.
I am okay. Oh, there's our Sheldon. Here's a piece for Parker.
Yeah, you kind of can't.
Tiny crumb.
Now we go get dessert.
I'm gonna put it on top of my marmalade.
Nope, probably collect it from us. But if you want to put it up on here real quick.
This afikomen has to stretch a long way.
Sorry.
15 little pieces.
I'm just stealing my father's potato.
Yep. Let's do this thing like a chicken wing.
It's a lot of chicken.
It is. It's quite a bit of chicken.
Yeah, it's like a half a chicken.
Yeah. That's too much for me.
I think that's why they gave us little like to-go things.
That's smart.
Just like half a chicken right here.
Hey. Hey.
Potato beef.
What did you say? Potato beef?
Potato beef.
I made a mistake. Huh? I made a mistake.
What was your mistake?
This is Matt.
Oh.
I had to move it one over. I can't even say like, oh,
Thought of it.
You're smart. I just sat here and tried to
Nobody
get back to your go somewhere. Okay. I'm literally just putting the rest of this chicken in here. I cannot finish it. Will it fit? Yes.
So long ago, it doesn't matter at all.
Can you pass the grape juice?
coming in.
You can start your next meal. Sure, with dessert. This is our way to get around So it's apples and then it's ground ginger.
Anybody want the egg?
Yeah, I love
Do you have your holiday here all the time? Every year? Oh, that's nice. I've never been here. My first time. Done with this? Take it away? Yeah.
I put mine in here, so if anybody wants.
You done? Yeah. Yes, please. Thank you. You sure there's a Tupperware here? Yeah. No, I'm good.
I got some in the Tupperware.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
Next time? You want the matzah?
There you go.
No.
You want my chicken?
No. Try it.
Okay. Thank you.
What's the aviculating for?
It is the last thing we eat. It's like you hide it and then the kids go find it.
Did I get everybody? Zero.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry.
That's okay, you're welcome. Did I give Ben his afikomen? Ben, did I give you afikomen? Not yet. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't give you any? I thought I did this whole table.
I don't want to finish this macaroni because I said I didn't want it.
I'll take it through the water.
I am done, thank you.
Sorry, unless you don't want the one that I bit out of.
I'm a weird kid.
Okay.
No, I also will. I know that some people have feelings about it and are like, yeah.
I just don't want you to think I'm weird.
You're all good.
All right,
Do we
folks.
have more water? No.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. The rabbis of the first century were geniuses, putting together a Passover Seder that is fun and interesting and all of that. But they made one mistake. They made one mistake. They put more after dinner. I think that was a mistake because it's really hard to get y'all back.
You know, Rabbi.
I know, of course we are.
You know, Rabbi, the meal actually used to be earlier.
Earlier in the
used to be
Seder?
earlier in the Seder.
What?
Yeah, it's true. And then they made it later because they realized that the people were
So
leaving.
who is
after
the
the
day?
meal.
When was this? Was it still in the first century?
I don't know the source.
You don't know the time?
It's a rabbi's rabbi.
How do you know this then?
He told us today.
Okay. Well, he does know things.
Who's
Yeah.
That's what I said.
This is the fifth question. Who's they? And what do they got to say?
Okay. So, everybody has a bit of the afikomen. You can eat it when you're done with your dessert, or you can just eat it and then start your next meal with dessert. But now in the prayer book, Haggadah, we are turning to the third cup. Third cup.
We're gonna do that before or after the blessing, after the meal?
Well, it says pour the third cup before the blessing. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do the blessing after the meal, and then we're gonna have the third cup.
Yes, but you can pour it now.
You can pour it now, or you can pour it later. Okay, so, it starts on page 80, right?
Page 80.
The transliteration starts on page 81, for those who need that.
All right. Page 80, get ready to respond. Here we go.
Yishem Adonai Mevarach Me'atav Yad
Yishem Adonai Mevarach Me'atav Yad Olam. Still page 80. Baruch Bereshut Havarayim Erecha Shel Chalom Mishalom.
Baruch Eloheinu Shel Chalom Mishalom U'tuvo Chayinu.
Baruch Eloheinu Shel Chalom Mishalom U'tuvo Chayinu. Baruch U'baruch Shemo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hazan et haolam kulo b'tuvo v'chein v'chesed rachamim rachamim u'noten lechem lechol basar ki le'olam chasto ki le'olam chasto u'tuvo hagadoh tamid lo chasar lanu ve'al yasar lanu Mazon leolam pa'ed bavur shemo hagadoh Ki v'zad u'farnes la'kol U'metiv la'chol u'mehin mazon Le'achol b'reotav asher bara Baruch atah Adonai Hazan et hakol Katu v'yachata v'savata v'berata et Adonai Elohecha al ha'aretz hateva asher natan la Baruch atah Adonai al ha'aretz ve'al hamazon U'bnei Yerushalayim ir hakodesh b'meira v'yameinu Baruch atah Adonai bonei v'rachamav Yerushalayim Amen. Harachaman.
Harachaman. Who has given us this wonderful meal to enjoy with our neighbors. Harachaman. May the merciful one release the captives speedily from their captivity. Harachaman, for this wonderful meal that we've gotten to share together. All of these things we will now offer this blessing of peace. Oh, say shalom b'Rahman, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael te'imeru, amen. Adonai Yosef Yitain, Adonai Yivarech et Amo V'shalom.
We turn to page 8-4 for a third cup of vino. Have some wine or grape juice in your cup. And this is, I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great acts of judgment. This is the promise of redemption. God's arm extends to all. None of us is beyond God's grasp. When we reach out to others, redemption begins. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim. All right, Eliyahu. Anybody has an extra cup? Put some wine in for Eliyahu. No, 85. Sorry. Page 85. Tonight, we walked through walls of words and filled our mouths with wine and song and chicken or fish. As darkness deepens, we look to the future and begin to dream. We wake the children who doze in our laps. We reprimand the people who keep talking to each other. And gather those who have strayed. Hey, who has strayed? Come back. It is time to open the door. The night our people left Egypt was for God a night of watching, as God brought our people out of the land of Egypt. This same night is God's, a night of watching for all the children of Israel throughout the generations. This is our night of watching as the old make way for the young, as our hearts guide us home. We have journeyed from degradation to dignity, and now we watch at the door for Elijah, the prophet of hope. Let us turn to page 88 for Eliyahu Hanavi. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagilati, Bimera Ve'amenu, Yavo Eleinu, Mashiach ben David. We come to the second Hallel. On page 96, we're going to sing from verse 118. Not verse, Psalm 118, verses 1 to 4. Page 102.
Already?
I know, I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God. This is the promise of covenant. As God has kept this promise for 5,000 years, so may we keep our commitments to others, building connections of justice and integrity. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri So tonight is the first night that we begin to count the Omer, the period in between Passover that takes us all the way to Shavuot. So over the next 7 weeks, this is page 103, we count the days of our people's journey from Egypt to Sinai. Beginning on the second night of Passover, that's this, until Shavuot at sunset, Jews count each day toward the first barley harvest. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Hayom yom echad le'omer. Today is the first day of the Omer.
For those of us keeping track,
That'll be the loving kindness within loving kindness.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So loving kindness square.
So we've come now to the singing songs.
Singing songs.
So, yeah, so what do you want to start with?
Why don't we just do like, and then.
Okay, we're gonna do Kad Gad Ya.
Amazing.
Yes, of course.
You wanna do it from your song sheet?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a song sheet for Kad Gad Ya.
But we all know.
Well, this one is a little bit different. Ben kind of changed the Kad Gad Ya around a little bit. The things and animals are all
I
the
took the
same.
violins out, as the rabbi likes to say.
He took the violins
I put the
out.
violins in, but I took out the violence.
Yeah, he took out the violins. But nonetheless, we still need somebody to be the baby goat, the kid. Who wants to make the kid sound? So every time we mention the kid, meaning baby goat, you have to make the baby goat sound. Who's gonna do it? Who's gonna do it? Hello?
Everyone can do it.
I need somebody to do it. Thank you so much. Who's gonna do it? Okay, Faith, thank you. All right, who's gonna be the cat? Me. Sheldon. I'm sorry. Dog? Okay. Lisa. Okay. Fire. No, stick. Parker. Fire that burnt the stick. Or what does it do?
It burned
No,
the stick.
It does burn the stick. Still burns the stick. Okay, Gail.
That's what it do.
Excellent. How about the water? Water.
I'll do water.
All right, thank you, Jan.
Perfect.
Okay, water. And then what about the cow?
Al, anyone? Want to give us a good blow?
Is that the opposite the original? Ah, Bob, excellent. And then came the person. This is,
No one wants to be
what
a
sound
person?
does this person make?
They can say hello.
That would be like a farmer, right?
Rancher?
Rancher? Yeah.
Answer.
I'm dairy farmer.
Do you want to be a person?
Who's the person?
Hi. Would they just say hi?
Okay.
B'makom she'ein anashim.
Come
In a world
on.
without people, be a person.
I will be the person.
Okay. Oh, Richard will do it. Okay. Angel of Death. Okay. Always. And then the last one is the Holy One of Blessing, and that's all of us, and it goes like this. Okay?
Harmonies are welcome.
Ready?
Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. First came the goat. My father bought for two zuzim. Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. Then came the cat. Meow. That played with the goat. My father bought for two zuzim. Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. Then came the dog that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for two zuzim. Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. Then came the stick that fetched the dog, that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for two zuzim. Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. Then came the fire that burned the stick, that fetched the dog, that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for two zuzim. Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. Then came the water that put out the fire, that burned the stick, that fetched the dog, that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for two zuzim. Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. Then came the cow. Moo. That drank the water, that put out the fire, that burnt the stick, that fetched the dog, that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for two zuzim. Chad Gad Ya, Chad Gad Ya. Then
Then came the person that milked the cow, that drank the water, that put out the fire, that burnt the stick, that fetched the dog, that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Ha-ga-ya. Then came the angel of death.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who passed over the person that milked the cow, that drank the water, that put out the fire, that burnt the sick, that fetched the dog, that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Ha-ga-ya, ha-ga-ya. Then came the Holy One of Blessing. Who overcame the angel of death.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who passed over the person that milked the cow, that drank the water, that put out the fire, that burnt the sick, that fetched the dog, that licked the cat, that played with the goat. My father bought for 2 zuzim. Ha-ga-ya, 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 ha-ga-ya. All right, we're gonna turn to page 112 to conclude our Seder together. So on page 112, let's all read together in the English at the bottom. Our Seder is complete, the ritual fulfilled. Tonight we passed through ancient doors and made our way toward freedom. Nourished by story and song, we joined our ancestors in praise. Memory opened our hearts, hope was sweet upon our tongues. May we enter these doors again next year in Jerusalem. Lishana Habaha B'Yerushalayim. Hallelujah. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you again to Helene and Phyllis for all of the work that they did to make this event possible. Thank you to the folks from Mirage. Are they all gone? They might be all gone, I don't know, but we thank also the folks from Mirage Diner who catered and served us and took care of us. And thank you to all of you for coming and being together and participating. Everybody get home safely. Helene, do you want to say anything? Or Phyllis? Helene or Phyllis, do you want to say anything?
No, just thank
No?
you. It was so nice to see everybody, and I think it worked out very well.
Yeah. Next year in Brooklyn again. What? Next year at Bichet.
Well, thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Thank you so much
Yes.
At least you can
backs, because this one,
Next year,
is
they had to be shut down.
But it's yours, okay.
What's fun about this bag is that I did not use anything in it. I didn't use anything in it, I just brought it. I know.
No, I think that folks would
I agree.
You come up, man? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're so welcome, Luke. I'm glad you could come.
Thank you more than I can say.
Well, you're very welcome.
You know what I should have done? If I really wanted that to be in the stick and have part be in the stick, I should have done it once or twice throughout. Because then people would have like, oh, I know this mouth. Yeah, when you're on, you skip instead.
Well, I thank you for a beautiful Seder.
Hey, folks on Zoom. I hope that it was not a terrible experience. Are you all gone? I don't see any of you.
It was
Are you
beautiful.
there?
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. See you soon.
See you soon.
For any more? I'm okay, thank you. It was very nice.
Take a few. Take some. Go for it.
Our president.
That's her number. Friday nights, come join us.
Don't worry that I'm not losing sleep.
No, I know.
Yeah, people like do things when they get around to